What's up? I'm Sergeant Ballistic, but you guys can call me Brian, and welcome to my not so long awaited setup tour video. I've really only been doing YouTube for less than a year now, but I said I wanted to do this as a milestone video for hitting 1,000 subscribers, and you guys liked and shared my videos enough to help me get there, so here we go. So this is my setup and I'm pretty proud of it. It's been a while in the making and will pretty much always be a work in progress. It's my office and game room where I spend the vast majority of my time when I'm not getting a couple hours of sleep at night or going back and forth to work. I kind of think of the theme of this room as work hard, play hard, because I both game in here and have fun doing that, but it's also where I shoot and edit the majority of my videos, so I get a lot of work done in here as well. Be sure to look down in the description because I'm going to try and post links to pretty much everything I have in here down there so you guys can pick it up off of Amazon if you like. So I'm working with a pretty small room here and I've got a lot of stuff, but I've tried to make it work. On the right we have a studio table / workbench area where I build and mod PCs as well as shoot a lot of the B-roll for my videos. In the back left there's some storage to help keep stuff neat, and I'm a pretty huge pack rat and a bit messy by nature, so it takes a lot of conscious effort in order to keep things in an orderly fashion. Swinging around towards the left is my desk setup. In the back there you can see my editing rig, which is hooked up to 3 monitors, and closest to the door is my gaming rig, the ammo can, which has a vertical dual monitor setup. But let's start here on the right. As soon as you come in is the closet. In here I've got really a bunch of random stuff, and I usually keep all the stuff that I have waiting to make videos on or that I'm going to be reviewing, but I have a lot of that stuff set out right now so you guys can see it. So a lot of boxes for stuff I'm currently using, and I like keeping boxes for just the resale value, being able to package it up in the original boxes. I've got monitor stands in here, posters, and here's the box for the Node 804 case and the Newton R3 800 watt power supply from Fractal Design that Fractal Josh was gracious enough to send out for review. Down here is a tackle box, which is actually full of electrical and computer engineering stuff from college, but I still get a lot of use of it today working on projects and stuff. Sitting on top of this unopened Acer G-Sync monitor, which I still need to do a unboxing and full review on, is actually my camera bag, and it's nothing special. I think I got it for around 40 bucks on Amazon, but I like the canvas and olive drab look, and it offers pretty good padding and storage, but I probably need to upgrade that for going to CES this January. Popping out, you can see around the closet I have my hat collection mounted. It's mostly fitted New Era 5950s. I also have a couple snapbacks in there too. A lot of Virginia Tech caps, as that's where I went to college. Some Orioles and Redskins hats. Also this New York Yankees hat. It has a VT on the side, and I got it at a charity event when the Yankees came down for an exhibition game against the Virginia Tech baseball team after the events that occurred on 4/16/2007. Never forget. So moving to the right, as a little fun decoration, there is the He's the DJ, I'm the Rapper album from DJ Jazzy Jeff and the Fresh Prince, aka Will Smith. Huge Will Smith fan, and I kind of stole this from my mom actually, who's from Detroit and just has this really crazy thing about collecting any and every record she can get her hands on. Moving into the studio workbench area is one of 3 IKEA Linman tabletop / desks that I have in here. It's using the Adils, I think you pronounce it, legs, and if you're looking for a minimal, pretty inexpensive desk, you can get something like this from IKEA for around, I want to say like 50 bucks. Shipping of course kind of sucks from the site, so do your best to go to the store if possible. But sitting on this table is a lot of stuff you'll be seeing in upcoming videos. I thought I'd give you guys a little sneak peek here in the setup tour. A few things of interest are this game stream ready router and the boxes for my new Shield tablet. Lots of videos coming on that soon. Right here you can see the Node 804, which will be housing my HD PC build. I've got the Mobo for that and a Logitech G700S wireless mouse to go with it. I'll be doing a parts video, build log style videos, and a showcase on that once it's done, so stay tuned. These are some very awesome, very gorgeous cable extensions from Ensourced.net. These are going to be going into my editing rig, and I'll try to do a couple videos on sprucing up your rig with stuff like LEDs and better cable management. And finally here we have a O2 plus ODAT combo from JDS Labs, which I'll be overviewing and reviewing to actually kick off a series of audio audio equipment videos I'm going to be doing. So yeah, videos, going to be a very busy upcoming couple months. Underneath the table are some boxes for my 2 builds, which each contain all of the boxes for their respective components. I like doing that. It's just a really good way to reduce clutter and keep everything together. So if you need it, you can just hop in the box and grab the Mobo manual, for instance. I've also got a crappy monitor down there for testing builds to make sure they post and stuff like that. This old case I use as a test bench. I really need to get something like an open air case for easy hot swap when testing out parts. And this box full of old consoles will be going to the game room I'm setting up at work. Stay tuned on that because we got a pretty nice budget and I'm really excited because this room is going to be ballin'. # project game room. As for filming equipment, I've got this little shelf full of knickknacks and camera gear. You can see there's like an LED light, some batteries, adapters, a gray card for color correction, a little dolly for some close-in macro shots, bounces and backdrops mostly for photography, and I've got this extra little tripod which comes in handy occasionally. The lighting I'm currently using is the Francier Studio 2400 watt softbox light kit. I've got 3 of these and it's like 150 and they work pretty well. I'd really love something like some LEDs. These already take up a lot of space and I'm probably going to stick with them for now, but really looking to upgrade soon. Here is the camera rig, and I currently shoot with this 60D from Canon. It's a very nice camera especially for tech videos. The flip out screen is great for weird angles, and so you can see yourself when you're sitting in front of the camera. But if you're getting started with YouTube, don't feel like you need a DSLR. I just happen to already be into photography a whole bunch, and so I had this ready when I started making videos. The lens that's on the 60D the most is the Sigma 24-70 2.8. Pro tip, constant aperture zoom lenses are really good for video. I'm pretty much always starved for light, and the 2.8 allows in a good amount of light without getting a crazy thin depth of field, so I can move a little bit and not get out of focus and stuff like that. So really great lens for video. I really want to get the Sigma 18-35 1.8 because it's just really good for doing things like focus pulls and all that kind of stuff. I've got a few of these little focus handles sitting around, and I keep one on the 24-70, and it's great for getting longer, smooth focus pulls. I also have a kit lens, which is the 18-135mm. It doesn't have a constant aperture, and I found myself not wanting to use it for video because of that. Basically, when you zoom in, your lowest aperture can actually change, so you have to adjust your settings, and you end up having to exposure match a lot more in post. I also have the Canon Nifty 50 1.8 50mm prime, which is pretty much the go-to kind of first lens most people choose to buy when they kind of get tired of their kit lens. The 60D is sitting on top of a Manfrotto 502 fluid tripod head, really helpful for those smooth pans and tilts. In between pretty much every individual segment, I have quick release plates from Giotto's, which help me pop things off quick and reconfigure my setup pretty easily. This is the Canova K2 slider, probably the best bang for your buck DSL camera slider out. They have higher and lower models, but this seems to be right in that sweet spot. And attached to it is this kind of ugly looking ghetto rigged motion control system that I took off my DIY slider. It's not meant to be permanent. I'm working with a coworker and we're getting some 3D printed parts so I can have a more modular system that also allows me to attach an Arduino for doing motion control and time-lapse shots. But I probably save around $100 using this instead of the Canova kit, so I'm happy with it for now. This little weight system helps you get really smooth slider shots. The weight basically acts as a flywheel, and its inertia helps smooth out unevenness and herky-jerky starts and stops. All of this is sitting on top of a set of Manfrotto green 055 XV tripod legs. I got them on sale on Woot, which is a great site for discounted and refurbished stuff, and they're okay for just a fluid head and pretty large camera and or lens combo, but the addition of the camera slider kind of unbalances it, so I might be getting a more heavy-duty video tripod for the slider and then use this just for traveling. On the shelf behind it, I've got a little battery charging station and some backup non-rechargeables. This white charger in particular is really great for charging a lot of batteries, and I will have the link to it in the description below. On the lower shelves, you can see that I'm really into first-person shooters, especially games like Halo, Call of Duty, and Battlefield, although I mainly play Battlefield on PC these days. Over here you can see the Master Chief helmet, and it's a cool little collector item that came with the legendary edition of Halo 3. In this corner I have a few cube shelves that I think I got from Walmart, but you can find similar stuff for pretty cheap on Amazon. I've got some boxes for things like my Shield Portable and some other stuff that I really like to show off. And here you can see 2 boxes for my AMD FX 8350s that are in my editing rig and gaming rig at the moment. I've also got some older Phenom 4-core and 6-core CPUs from AMD. And from Team Blue, I've actually picked up a G3258 that I will be using in my HD PC build that I mentioned earlier. Below it is a i7-4790K. I'm speccing out a build to go along with that. I'm actually pretty excited about that. It'll most likely be my first fully custom water-cooled build. This little bin is full of stuff like microfiber cloths, canned air, and alcohol for cleaning all to text. And there's a little white glove in here that comes in handy for moving and adjusting products without getting fingerprints and dust all over it. Nice little pro tip there. On the bottom, I have a box full, and I mean full, teaming over with LED strips, controllers, and other parts. My desk setup does have LEDs on it, as do both of my rig. I'm hoping to do some videos covering the different types of LEDs and how I use them and what you might want to use different types for, because they're great for adding a little extra pizzazz to just about everything. In the middle cube, I've got a bunch of tools I use for building and modding stuff. I'll probably end up doing a video on all the tools and stuff I use, so I'll just give you a little look-see right now. Got some security bits, the iFixit kit, and a bag full of stuff like thermal paste, an electric screwdriver, flashlight, etc. And up on top of the left cube shelf is my unnamed editing rig. I already did a series of videos on this and I'll try to link them somewhere, but quickly, it's an AMD FX 8350 on an Asus 990 FX Mobo. Got a Corsair HX 750 PSU powering it, 24 gigabytes of Corsair vintage RAM, Corsair H60 cooler, and an AMD HD 6850 from Power Color, which really desperately needs an upgrade. And all of this is enclosed in my Corsair 760T, which I think looks friggin' awesome, especially when illuminated by LEDs. This PC is the anchor for the right side of my whole desk setup, and I've got 3 monitors hooked up to it. I really want to replace at least the right 2 19-inch eMachine monitors with one ultra-wide IPS monitor, probably the LG 34UM95 or UC97. The other monitor is a Samsung SyncMaster 260 HD, has a TV tuner in it, which I don't really use anymore because I don't have cable in here, and it's also getting pretty old, so it'll probably be making its way over to the test bench area to act as a test monitor. For peripherals, I have a cheapo keyboard, soon to be replaced, and the mouse is a Logitech G602. It's meant to be a MMORPG gaming mouse, I think, but I kind of like using it for productivity and editing. It has a marathon mode, which can help it last up to 250 hours, and has pretty good ergonomics. If you want to see a video on that mouse, let me know in the comments. Moving from right to left, on the top part of my desk, you can see I have the Google Nexus 7 Gen 2, which I mainly use right now for an external monitor while filming. Kind of want to make a video on exactly how I use that in order to make sure that my shots of myself are in focus and well lit, because I definitely think it can help a lot of people out. Next to it is my Shield tablet. I have a bunch of videos in the works already for that, and finally here we see my Samsung Galaxy Note 4, which I already did an unboxing video on, and I have a review coming up on that soon. Moving on, I have a 2TB Western Digital Passport for backing up footage. Next to it is a Kingston portable card reader. Both of these are USB 3 and are hooked into the PC via a Juice System USB 3.0 10-port hub. Very nice, only having one USB cable running up to the PC and everything else on the desk just plugged into the hub. Getting into the sound equipment, I have a pair of M Audio AV40 studio monitors. I can do some videos on these if you like, but they're pretty good for the price. Definitely a good entry-level set of monitors. The left has the volume control and an extra aux input and a headphone out, so you can actually use these as a 2-input mixer if you need to. For headphones on this PC, I have a pair of Audio-Technica ATH M50Xs. I really like Audio-Technica gear. These are newer versions of the M50s, which are widely considered to be some of the best headphones you can get for under $200. They're great for monitoring audio as they produce really balanced and accurate sounds. They're sitting on a little Cosmos headphone stand that I got off of Amazon. The M50Xs actually have a detachable cable, so while I'm not using them, I kind of like to coil the cable around this little pencil holder tucked behind them. The headphones are plugged into this Focusrite Scarlett 2i2 audio interface. It's a very nice 2-in, 2-out recording interface and can output to either my monitors, my headphones, or both. Next to it is a Behringer Xenix 802 Premium 8-input mixer. I really haven't been able to put this to good use yet. The goal is to have it mix audio coming from my gaming PC and mic and pipe it into my editing rig, which would double as a streaming PC. I'm starting to get into Twitch, kind of, you know, testing the waters and streaming just every once in a while when I'm kind of blowing off steam while I'm not editing. So once I get all that figured out, I kind of want to make some videos on how to get a good audio and streaming setup. Under the Samsung monitor is a desk organizer / riser, which holds a lot of little knickknacks like some notepads, a slinky, the TV / monitor remote, and my unboxing knife, as well as the remotes for my LED light. Underneath it is an Xbox 360, which I rarely use anymore, but I also have a Ethernet switch so that I can have a wired connection to everything on my setup that can be wired. Got this little Rubik's Cube, and I'm not really crazy fast at solving it, but when I'm kind of unfocused or zoned out, I can take a couple minutes to solve it, and it just helps kind of get the juices flowing and get me back into the zone. The microphone stand I use is an inexpensive unit from Neewer, which works pretty well. I position it so I can swing it out in front of me to record voiceovers and pick up audio for streaming, but I can also move it out of the way when it's not in use. Behind the inexpensive Neewer pop filter is an Audio-Technica AT2035 XLR studio condenser mic. Very nice mic. It's the brother of the AT2020, which is a little bit less expensive and uses USB. It came with a shock mount, which seems to work pretty well, and I kind of like this audio setup. Next to the left studio monitor is a currently non-working PS3. I'll probably end up having both an Xbox One and PS4 in this area in the future. I really wanted that 20th anniversary PS4, but unfortunately Sony preferred to sell it to a bunch of people that just went and flipped them for profit on eBay. Seriously, as somebody's probably spent thousands and thousands of dollars on their consoles, games, and peripherals over the last 2 decades, it just seems like they could have done something to get that console into the hands of people who have actually supported their products and brands, but profit, right? Because of this, you'll probably end up seeing a Xbone on my desk before you see a PS4. Sitting on this Audio-Technica tabletop mic stand is a condenser mic from M Audio. Not a bad mic, I just don't like the sound characteristics of it all that much, and I got tired of spending time in post trying to get it closer to what the AT2035 has out of the box. Shooting under both desks, you can see I've done a lot of work to get my cables pretty well managed. It's not perfect, but check out the videos I made showing everything I did to do this. I've got a UPS on both systems, so if the power goes out, I should be good and able to back up all my stuff and get stuff saved. On this little side table, I've got a bunch of audio peripherals and cables. Below it are all the boxes for all my audio gear. Again, I really like saving boxes. I've got this Bic Phoenix Prodigy Mini ITX case I'd like to use for a small form factor build. We have LAN parties and stuff at work, and while the ammo can is pretty portable for a mid-tower build, having something smaller and lighter will be nice. Moving on, next to the trash can is a plastic organizer with stuff like command strips and hooks, USB cables and chargers, and office supplies and general stuff like that. On top of it is a monochrome wireless laser printer, which I used a lot in college, but not so much now. Finally, we get to the gaming PC, or what I like to call the ammo can. If you want to see a detailed video on this build, let me know in the comments. I really want to do that, but it's a military themed build based on the FX8350 and a Asus Sabertooth 990 FX tough board. Really love the kind of olive drab theme of both the case and the motherboard. I'm using the EVGA GTX 770 Superclocked Dual BIOS Edition. A lot more Corsair parts in here with 16 gigabytes of Corsair Vengeance RAM with low cast timings, a H110 AIO cooler, an AX860i PSU, all inside the Corsair C70 case. Love this build. It plays Battlefield, which is pretty much my primary game right now, at mixed medium settings and averages over 90 frames per second on most of the map. Those frames combined with these 120 Hz BenQ XL2420TE 1 millisecond 24-inch monitors really make for some nice smooth gameplay and first-person shooters, which is pretty critical for doing well online. I've got these monitors mounted vertically, and I mostly use the bottom for gameplay and the top for stuff like social media, chat, and the Battlefield battle screen. They're TN panels, so the color isn't the best, but if you're into competitive first-person shooter gaming, then they're definitely great monitors. And in the future, I do plan on having my consoles hooked up to that top display, so if I'm doing any first-person shooters on there, I don't have to worry about input lag on my TV. So I currently have the Logitech C920 webcam hooked up to this machine, but I kind of hot swap it in between both machines. I'll probably end up getting a second one, as it's really a great HD webcam for streaming, and for $60 to $70 it can actually be a decent main cam if you're just getting started on YouTube. Peripherals on this rig include the classic Logitech G15 gaming keyboard. It's getting up there in age and has rubber dome switches and some rollover ghosting problems that cause issues when I'm playing games, but I've had this keyboard forever and it works just as well as the day I got it. It'll soon be getting replaced with with a mechanical keyboard that I already have on order, so stay tuned for that. For a mouse, I've got the Logitech G500. In the past, I've used the G5, and this is the newer version of that. Really like Logitech gear, as you can see, and I love this mouse. It has all the programmable buttons I need, the infinity scroll wheel, which is great for productivity, and the software allows you to program just about whatever you want. I've also got a few game pads here, which are nice for playing stuff like driving games and platform or beat 'em up games on the PC. One is a wired Xbox 360 controller, no lag, MOG Pro, and the other is a Xbone controller, which can now be used on the PC as well. Right here you can see my boy Gizmo is just chilling out. I pretty much had him my whole life. Not to date myself, but I was born in the same year that this movie came out, so we're actually the same age. I actually remember being terrified of him for a while after I first saw that movie, but we're pretty much cool now. Continuing with gamepad type devices, I've got the Shield Portable that I won in a giveaway a while back, and my first tech video was actually an unboxing of this guy, so kind of nice having it, and I'll probably keep it around because I do like it over the tablet for a couple reasons. Next to it, you can see Travis holding down Shield controller, which can actually pair with the Shield Portable or the Shield tablet. Again, stay tuned for more content on the whole NVIDIA Shield ecosystem. For audio over here, I have a pair of Audio-Technica ATH8700Xs. These are open headphones. They have a great soundstage, which allow for really precise sound location when gaming. I get a lot of accusations in Battlefield when I'm able to just kind of whip around and dome a guy trying to knife me because I can hear him coming a mile away. No matter if he's above me, below me, I can hear parachutes with these things opening for guys trying to come down and Batman me. Really great headphones. Attached to it is the Antlion Mod Mic 4.0. Pretty good sounding mic, especially for gaming. That allows you to turn your headphones into a gaming headset, as I've done here. Biggest problem with it is that it adds an extra cable to your setup, which can be kind of a pain to manage. I've used Velcro straps here to keep them together, but I really like to see Antlion doing something in the next iteration to help find a better solution for this. These are sitting on a Firestone audio headphone stand. I actually did a video on this recently. I got this off of Massdrop, which is a great site. You should go check that out. I'll try to have my referral link for that in the bottom, so if you do sign up and use that, I'd really appreciate it. Finishing up, I have a couple more plastic organizers over here to keep stuff off my desktop whenever possible. On the top, I've actually got the power cable for charging the Shield Portable. This is an extra battery and charger for the Note 4, which I recently picked up. And then here is the adaptive fast charger for the Note 4. On the right, I've got some older devices in the top drawer. I don't really use these as much anymore. It's stuff like a first generation iPad, a Droid X2, the original Samsung Galaxy S from T-Mobile, the Note 1 and 2, and another microfiber cloth just for kind of cleaning stuff off. Below it is a drawer full of cable management stuff. I've got Velcro ties, zip ties, twist ties, all the ties. And I've got some cable locks organizers in here that I'll be using to add a little bit more cable management for my mobile devices. And here in the bottom drawer, you can see a couple more random things like the monitor covers for my BenQ 24-inch monitors, the little control units that come with them that I couldn't really find a way to work with while on the vertical monitor stands, and a couple more boxes for a couple others. Peripherals. And lastly, on the left bin, we've got a couple camera extras and a bunch of electrical and computer engineering extras from school, and I currently mostly use those for DIY projects. Really into Arduino and PIC programming, so we'll see if I have any time. Maybe I'll like to make some videos on that stuff. Let me know if you're interested in that in the comments. And that's it, I guess. I've got a lot of posters around on the walls for decorating, mostly from video games and some movies and shows and sports teams. And some possible changes and upgrades that might be coming soon are mainly something like maybe a TV catty-cornered above the setup for movies and casual games. But I hope you guys enjoy my setup tour. Be sure to look in the description for links to everything. My Amazon affiliate link is also on there. Bookmark it and use it when you buy stuff off of Amazon for your setup or whatever you buy on Amazon, really. It helps out the channel a lot. Let me know in the comments what you thought of my setup, as I'm always trying to improve it. If you're really into setups, go check out a channel called Pimp My Setup. The channel is devoted to rating and helping people improve their setups. I've been a guest host on the show. It's run by my buddy Matt Philly, who's a really funny and dedicated guy. Thumbs up or thumbs down this video to let me know whether you want to see more videos like it in the future. Comment if that's not enough to express how you really feel. Subscribe if you want to see more videos like this, and please share if you enjoyed it, as that's the primary way my channel grows. Follow me on your favorite social media sites for more frequent updates on all my tech project and upcoming videos. Thanks again for watching. I'll see you guys in the next video. Later.